Good morning, evening, or afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. Before we start, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell to get a notification. It really helps the video out a lot. Today, we're going to be talking about the unique basketball journey of the first Indian-born player to be drafted into the NBA, Satnam Singh. I actually saw Satnam play quite a bit the year before last, but he played with the Edge. Uh, I mean, he didn't play well for the Edge, but he's only 24. He was 22 then, didn't go to college and play, so he could have went to college and got some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Some more seasoning if he went to college. He was born on December 10th in 95. That makes him 24 as if I'm recording this. His hometown is about 1,300 people. Now, to put that into comparison, I'm currently living in Halifax. There's 400,000 people here in Halifax, and as far as I know, we've never had a player drafted into the NBA. He was drafted into the NBA from a town of 1,300 people. That's quite a bit. Now, he did play for some state teams back in India. His high school career was in IGN Academy. Now, the thing with that, where I find that so fascinating, is he was a kid about 14, 15, going to high school, didn't speak a word of English before he went. He's never known anything but India. So for him to leave everything behind at such a young age, go to another country where you don't speak the language, have to learn the language, have to learn high school, that's a huge, huge deal. Unfortunately, there was some, if you end up seeing his Netflix video, 1 in a Billion, where it goes into saying because he didn't fill out some paperwork correctly, he couldn't get an American citizenship, so he wouldn't have been eligible to play in the NCAA. That, I believe, really hurt him because then it didn't give him a lot of places he could go. He was getting older. He started basketball much later in life. I think at age 10 he started playing. He was huge. At age 13 he stood 6 feet 11 inches. So quite the big man. Just having a lack of facilities back in India really hurt him. I believe it said he played on a dirt court with a broken down net. Now, basketball players come from everywhere. There's a lot of people playing with worse situations than he had. But still, just to leave home, leave India, don't speak a word of English, not one word. To go to high school and never learn. In the video, it said because he had such poor English. English is one of the hardest languages to learn. I've met tons of Indian people in my life, just in my travels, and it's usually a hard language to learn. You can learn it, but his hometown is 1,300 people, so you don't really have the opportunity to learn English as if you would living in a bigger city. But still, to do that, he barely graduated. He did some paperwork, and I believe he came to school at grade 12, grade 11 or grade 12. So you only have 2 years then to get your English up, which it wasn't good, and get a scholarship. And because he was a U.S. citizen, you can't play in the NCAA without U.S. citizenship. So his agent went, they talked to him. The only thing that you could do is go into the NBA draft. That's all we have. You can't stay here. You're going to age out of high school. We would love to get you into college and really help, maybe if he's 4 years in college, help refine his game. But he couldn't do that because he was an American citizen. So his only choice was to go to the NBA and get drafted into the G League. He got drafted. Went from the IGM Academy and got drafted by the Dallas Mavericks in the second round, number 52. It's actually why he wears the number 52. He bounced around a little bit in Summer League, played in 2 Summer League games, or 2 Summer League seasons. Played 2 years in Summer League, played 17 games, starting 1. So, not totally bad Summer League, but Summer League is more for you to test everything out and see what you can do. I think he played well, but also, then he was assigned to the G League, the Texas Legends. He played 2 years in the G League, only playing 27 games. So you're not playing a whole lot. The G League, usually players who are in the G League have 4 years in college, have 4 to 3 years in college. So he was in the G League, never playing any college ball, barely speaking in English. and had to go and had to fight for minutes there. So that was hard. It's hard. That would be hard on anyone. Put it in perspective, I know people who were in their 50s and 60s had never left home. I know people like that. My hometown's full of them. My hometown, Boyd's Cove, is full of that. So just to do that, and then he spent 2 years in the G League and was cut. Um, there's a video made about him, and he was cut. And then he goes back to India, and it's like, oh, what the fuck do I do? He wanted to play basketball. That's all he ever really wanted to do. He's a big guy, so that's where his strengths would be. And to not be able to, he partners up with a charity, and they start, maybe putting out feelers. Maybe he can play. There's 2 contracts that come his way. One is in the Australian NBL. He was offered a development deal, so essentially he wouldn't play. He wouldn't play any basketball. He would just train with the team for a year, basically to work on your strength, work on your conditioning. The NBL Australia is a really good league. For those who don't know, LaMelo Ball plays there or played there up until this year. He also played in Lithuania as well. And the St. John's Jets gave him a call. They offered him some playing minutes. I remember being in St. John's when this happened. That's where I saw him play most of his 1 year there. It was a chance. Now, the St. John's Edge, this was their 2nd year in the league. The year before that, they were in the conference finals. They had a new coach. Doug Plum was coming in the coach. They just let the coach go. The coach didn't let him go. The coach decided to go back to college. He was an assistant in college. Jeff Dunlop played in North Carolina State. Played for some UCLA Bruins teams. Mostly a coach. Pretty good assistant coach. Was also the GM. Decided to go. They had a new general manager, Carl English, who actually played that year as well. Was the year before that the league MVP. They had a new coach in Doug Plum. He came over. He didn't play a whole lot. Once again, he is a really good player in India. He would do really well 3-on-3. But because he is so big and it's really hard to be coordinated at that size, and he's also from India where there's not a lot of basketball, there's not a lot of cultivation, it's mostly cricket. There aren't a lot of people you can really learn from at that height. He looked awkward on the floor. Great player, only played only played like 35 games, starting 2. I thought he looked well on times. I mean, he was brought in for probably a couple of reasons. Once was to give him a chance. Living in St. John's for as long as I have, I'm living in Halifax now. There's a larger Indian population in St. John's. A lot of more people from Punjabi go to Memorial, the big university there. He only started 2 games. One of those, most, getting in garbage time. Big guy. Because he is so big, he was probably thinking he was going to be their starting center, and he wasn't. They played some small ball. Halfway through the year, they go from being your backup center to being the 3rd center on the option because they bring in former NBA champion Glenn Big Baby Davis to play for the Edge halfway through the year. Honestly, there's a whole other idea of Glenn Big Baby Davis' time with the St. John's Edge. But he learned a lot. Just having him there every day and learning from a guy who's done it at that time. Glenn has already played in the NBA. He's won a title. That really helped him. And in the limited minutes he did see after that, he looked a lot better. That year, the St. John's Jets went all the way to the finals before being swept to the Moncton Magic. It also hurt right before the finals. They fired their coach. Or right before the playoffs, they fired their coach. So that's an issue as well. For the Edge, this isn't a St. John's Jets video. This is actually about Satnam. But I saw him. He played well for what he did. And they didn't bring him back. Unfortunately, the Edge did a lot of turnover in the offseason. They decided not to bring him back. I'm not 100% surprised, but it was great seeing him play. He also bounced around. He plays for India internationally. So for internationally, he's played 19 games for his total for his international career. He's played for Team India in the Asia World Cup qualifiers. He played 6 games, and he played in some Asia Cups. He averaged minutes roughly around 29 minutes. I have seen him play some 3-on-3. I know he has played some 3-on-3 for India as well. I don't think he's playing right now. It was 2 years ago, the last time I saw him play in the NBL. He did spend some time in India's league. Where does he go now? I don't think he gets back to the NBA. He's 24. I think he would have to massively improve his game. He might make it back as 30, but even then it will be a G League player. I don't know where he goes now. I think he's a good story. I think he should write a book. He does have another movie coming out. He did have the 1 billion on Netflix. He does have another movie coming out, as far as I know. Could be a really great coach or a really good scout. Probably some on-site gems. I think what I'll end up doing is maybe redshirting for a year and maybe getting to university in Canada. Uh, the rules in Canada for international students are a little different. I'm not sure I'm from Canada. I've never needed to, but I think he does that. Maybe becomes an inspiration for Indian basketball players. It was great watching him play. I didn't see him much play for the Texas Legends, but I did see him a lot for the Edge. Um, just he always seemed like he was happy, and I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. But his year at the Edge was a lot of turmoil. Like I said, when he came in, he probably thinking he's going to be the second big man, going to learn. That team actually went to the finals that year. Uh, After that, they brought in, like I said, Glenn Big Baby Davis to help him quite a bit there. I can see him sticking around in a league. I'm not sure if he wants to keep going pro. If he goes to Europe, I'm surprised a team in the NBL didn't try to resign him, just to try to get the publicity as well. He really helped the game in India quite a bit. Um, what do I think he does? Well, I think he goes and plays in India next year. Just for reference here, his stats in the NBL, he played 35 games, started 2 games. He put up, I'm sorry, looking at his advanced stats here. I don't have anything written down. Give me a second here. Played 2 games, played 119 minutes, and put up 78 points. So not bad for 35 games. Only starting 2. Played a lot of garbage time that year, but I did like seeing him play. Every time he came to the floor, he would get a standing ovation from the crowd because he put a lot of work in to even get playable. He did look a little awkward out there, but he's 7 foot tall. Anyway, if you like this video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. I will give you more awkward content like this about basketball or other things. But you all have a great day, and talk to you again soon. Bye.